Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the tall, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still they answer the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the tall, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still they answer the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go home today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. Got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. NASA, the astronauts at NASA, or NASA astronauts, this is a better way to say it, are now finally being returned back to Earth. Jeremy Boring from the DailyWire has stepped down. Jeremy Boring. Woo! Donald Trump violation of the deportation order. We're going to talk about all of this stuff coming up on the show. I want to tell you guys and remind you about the event that I'm having here in Paradise Valley, Arizona. I want to see you here April the 1st. If you want information about the event, we'll have hors d'oeuvres, we'll have an event, meet and greet, Q&A, and then we have a VIP section where we have a private dinner put on by the Inn's restaurant, owned by my friend Tommy. He's going to be cooking. I ain't going to tell y'all what he cooking, but he going to cook them himself. He not going to even have a chef do it. He going to cook it himself, and I cannot wait. But I want to see you there, April 1st. Link will be in the description section. Also, make sure you go on to tatumstore.com, tatumstore.com. We have in our sales section 70% off. You know how crazy that is, 70% off? So if you're interested in the merch, 70% off. All right, let's get to the astronauts. So we know that there was astronauts that were caught out in space. When I say caught out in space, they went on a mission that was supposed to be a short-term mission, and then it ended up being long-term because Boeing Starliner capsule had technical issues and was unsafe to return back to planet Earth. So guess who came to the rescue? Your boy Elon. The same man that they burning all his cars and they hate Tesla now, and then they got anti-Elon Tesla cars and all this other stuff. But the SpaceX Dragon was the only thing that could have gotten them out from space. So Elon Musk coordinated with NASA to get them back, and we have video footage of that, or at least Elon Musk. Roll the clip.
A smooth separation. And there you can see on the left-hand side of your screen.
Is this fake?
There on your screen you can see that Dragon separation, that second stage making its way, and Dragon is now flying free to 10 minutes into today's flight. That was about a minute after we had that second engine cutoff and orbital insertion. It looks like a good separation, good rates. Dragon now flying free. There on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see some first images of Crew 10 inside the Dragon Endurance spacecraft as they're now successfully in orbit.
Dragon, SpaceX Chief Engineer on Countdown 1. On behalf of the entire Falcon team, we thank you for flying with Falcon and wish you a great mission. Over to LD.
It was an honor flying with you this evening. We wish you well on your journey and give Crew 9 our best. Thank you for flying SpaceX.
That's pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. People be hating on Elon, man, but that's pretty cool to have that out there. So I want to talk a little bit about the duration of how long it's going to take them to get back to planet Earth. Let's see. Do we have that in here? Let's go down the list of a couple things that I think are notable. The extended mission duration, originally scheduled for a brief mission, Williams and Wilmore's stay extended to over 9 months due to technical issues, which we talked about earlier. I think they were only supposed to stay for like 9 weeks, and they end up there for 9 months. Now, the health implications, prolonged exposure to microgravity can lead to muscle atrophy, bone density loss, vision problems, and fluid accumulation in the head. The astronauts will undergo comprehensive medical evaluation upon their arrival back to planet Earth. And I hope to God that they make it safe. I'm being honest. I mean, that Dragon thing has to come back and land, orbit, go through the atmosphere, and then land safely, that they don't just completely burn up, which I'm hoping that they have a safe travel back. The delay to their return attract political commentary from the President of the United States and also Elon Musk, criticizing the prolonged mission, criticizing Boeing and NASA, sparked a widespread criticism of Boeing Starliner program and NASA's handling of the situation. Many questions why NASA continued investing in Boeing spacecraft despite repeated technical failures and delays. I wonder a little bit, and I'll let Elon speak to this, I wonder, are they going to sue NASA or sue Boeing? Because technically their exposure and potential health concerns are caused by something that NASA did and the failures of Boeing and their partnership that maybe should have never happened. But anyway, let's play Elon Musk because he can speak to it better than I can. Roll it.
You know, there's been some debate about this online, but the thing is that it was a very high-level decision. So it wasn't really even a NASA decision.
Yep.
It was just that the Biden White House did not want to have someone who was pro-Trump rescuing astronauts right before the election. So they pushed it.
Well, if you're one of those astronauts, you got to be pretty pissed off about that.
Well, if they're a Democrat, yes. If they're a Republican, yes, but if they're a Democrat, like, everything's fine.
Fair enough.
So I think one of them is a Republican, one is a Democrat. So it depends on which one you're at.
And so the Dragon capsule is expected to land off the coast of Florida around 5:57 p.m. Eastern on March the 18th, which is today. So tonight, 5:57 Eastern, we should see that capsule return to the coast of Florida, hopefully in one piece. All right, let's get to another topic. Jeremy Boring is going to step down from the Daily Wire, and that was just announced. Breaking news. Do we have a clip for Jeremy Boring? I don't look like we do. We don't have one. Okay, so the Daily Wire founder, if you don't know, Jeremy Boring is stepping down from his role as co-CEO to focus on creative projects within the company. He will focus full-time on creative projects, including the completion of the Daily Wire's TV series, The Pendragon Cycle, in which he served as a director and executive producer. Caleb Robinson assumes the CEO role in his place. Caleb is the company's founding CEO. It will become a full-time CEO effective immediately. Now, the propagandist perspective is that Jeremy Boring is stepping down as the CEO or co-CEO for him to focus on a particular project. Let me just give you my opinion. I don't know Jeremy. I've met him once. So I only have what he has done physically to go off of as far as my opinions about him. He has a terrible reputation at this point with most people in the conservative movement who are not hook, line, and sinker for the Daily Wire. Them letting Candace go was probably one of the worst ways to go about what they did. They can let her go if they don't like what she's saying about Israel. I understand if you're a Jew, you probably would be mad at some of the stuff that she say. However, the way you go about letting your biggest star go is astronomically ridiculous. And I'm a big fan. I have been a big fan of Daily Wire until now. I've been a big fan of Daily Wire. I go on their show all the time. I thought it was an incredible organization. And then when they did that to Candace, it gave them a black eye. It's like, well, are you guys serious? Like, you really just letting it go this way? You couldn't have a debate. You couldn't have a conversation. You know, that's one thing about Ben Shapiro that kind of made him look bad. Is that, man, if you're so gung-ho about Candace Owens being anti-Semitic or whatever you guys perceive that she's being, she's not aligning with the principles of your company's values religiously or whatever the case may be, because you guys are for free speech, allegedly, which I think that they are, but I think in Candace's case, I don't think they were. Why don't you debunk everything Candace is saying, not only in the op-ed, but go on a show and go through a line item and debunk everything Candace is saying? I haven't seen such clip. I haven't seen such video. So when you don't do that, you don't do a town hall debate with Candace or anything of that nature while she's working for you. Then you just fire her and she's your biggest star. It just make you look bad. I would never do that as a business owner. I just wouldn't do it. If I had a big superstar that was probably a bigger brand than me and they were saying stuff about Jesus that I didn't like, you're probably not going to work for me anymore. But the way I let you go is going to be legitimized, right? We're going to have a debate. You're saying some things about Jesus that ain't true. Let's sit down and have a debate, because I should be able as a Christian to articulate very clearly why you are wrong. And then after I prove to the world that you're wrong and you continue to do that, I'm going to let you know very clearly we can't have that. The world can see why we can't have this, because you're completely wrong. And what you're saying is false. And you continue to push falsehood after I've already exposed it to you that you're being false. Then I'm going to let you go. But it's not going to be, oh, I'm going to do it over tweet and all that old phony stuff that I see the Daily Wire did. And then they got rid of Brett Cooper. I don't care how it happened. The fact that two of your biggest stars are leaving your organization tells me that something is afoot, right? And then the people are leaving with them. Means something is afoot. There's a lot of incredible people that work for Daily Wire that still work for Daily Wire. Most people that work for Daily Wire are cool. But the way that they're running from the top is causing more problems than it should for the other people that are good, that are working there. That's just my opinions on it. And so watching the company, knowing what I know about business, I really do think that they're probably struggling. I don't know that for a fact. They may be flourishing. But I think that they're struggling because you can't have a subscription model where your biggest players that draw subscriptions are now gone and think that it's going to continue to climb. And the way they handled the Brett Cooper situation. Not only did Brett Cooper leave, who was their biggest up-and-coming star. She was bigger than Candace when it comes to the acceleration of growth within the ecosphere. Now, Candace is not with Daily Wire, and she's blown up past everybody. But then they take her show and they repurpose it with another person with the same name. I don't even think they changed the background. They literally said, screw you, Brett Cooper. I don't know what their business deal was. I don't know if Brett was wrong about this. I have no idea what happened. But it looks like they said, screw you, Brett. You are so worthless to us that we can put anybody in here and it's going to do better than what you did or doing the same as what you did. Now, I could go right now. We should do it. I'll go right now and look at her comment section. Let me see what the comment section look like right now. Comment section, Daily Wire. All right, let me go look at it. Oh, man, I got ChatGPT up. I don't want you up right now, ChatGPT. Stay in your place, gangster. All right, let me go to the YouTube channel. Comment section. Let's see. Comment section. And nothing against the young lady because, oh, my God, it's horrific. Nothing against the young lady that's doing it because I don't know her. To be honest, if it had not been for Brett Cooper being there, I don't think people would think that she was that bad. But when you go from Brett Cooper to a side chick, when I say side chick, she's literally the side chick of the Brett Cooper show. And now the side chick is now marriage material to y'all. That's exactly what it is. That's like a man being married and he got a mistress on the side. And the world has seen him with his wife. And then all of a sudden they get a divorce and he want to put the mistress in all of these positions that he had his wife in. People going to be like, wait a minute, bro. This shit, you can't just put her in. Like, this is not right. Can you at least buy new clothes? You got her wearing the same clothes your wife wearing? That's like a man having a podcast and him and his wife do the podcast. And then he divorced his wife for a mistress and he get his mistress on the podcast. You think people are going to watch your podcast after you? Okay. So that's pretty much what Daily Wire did when it comes to Brett Cooper's show. And I'm looking at it right now, and it's absolutely horrific. Like, the views on here are astronomically low. I don't think they've gotten over 40,000. They haven't gotten over 35,000 views. Let me see. 40,000 views. Let me go 50,000. It's getting worse. She had more views a while ago than she's doing now. I mean, this girl haven't hit 100,000 views, and I'm not saying it's her. It's that they got this girl on Brett Cooper's channel expecting it to still have life. Let's see, 3 months ago, just so you guys have it in perspective, this is Brett Cooper's views. She got, and I'm just going off of the last few videos that Brett Cooper put up. Let's go to the last few ones she put up. Million views, 300,000, 300, 1 million, 500, 400,000, 400, 500, 600. And then what was the last views of the young lady that's in there now? 40,000 views, 50,000, 20,000, 16,000, 19,000, 20,000, 22,000, 4,000. I mean 14,000. Daily Wire, what are you thinking? And I'm not here to bash the Daily Wire necessarily, but with Jeremy Bourne stepping down, I think we can see the writing on the wall. And I don't know these people, man, but they're just, what they're doing is off-putting, in my opinion. And I'm going to give y'all a little secret, and I'm just going to throw it out there. A lot of people aren't who you think they are. I just want y'all to, most people are not who you think they are. Majority of the people in the movement are not these clean conservatives who care about America, who believe in capitalism, who really put out content to change the masses. Most of them are not really conservative. Really, I'm saying really live that principle. They're conservative on the thing, but they're not really living the conservative principles. They're not really Christians. They say they're Christian in one area, and then they out at the club getting drunk on a weekend and having, you know, multiple partners at these events that they go to, these conservative events. It's 100% is happening. And you keep going, most of them are making content to go viral to make money, not content to make you think and to add value. And that's the name of the game, unfortunately, in many cases. People are saying, can I go to AOC's house to go viral? Not because I think if I go to AOC's house that I'm going to accomplish anything. I just want to go viral. I want to record this person to go viral. I want to put on a show here. I want to lie about this and create this so I can go viral, because if I go viral, I'll make this amount of money. The beauty about people like myself, I think Candace is like this, and a few other people that I know, is that a lot of us started when this didn't make you any money. Most of us were doing something else. I was a cop making videos. getting millions of views and didn't make a dime. I didn't even know you could make money making videos. And therefore, my intent has always been to put out information, to tell the truth when these lying dirtbags are putting this information out in the public sphere, lying to my mama and them, even though my mama and them are Trump supporters now, but lying to my mom and my grandma and people in the community I grew up in. I want to dismantle that. And to be honest, if you dismantle these things with integrity, the money, the fame, the success, or whatever you're looking for will come. But you can't try to be viral and trying to make videos and trying to be a persona. You have to do it with integrity. And I don't know if DailyWire, at least Jeremy Bourne, I don't know if Jeremy Bourne is doing his stuff with integrity. I'm not saying he isn't, but it's very suspicious when people are leaving your organization. And I've heard from people that have been in the organization, that have worked with DailyWire, that said that they don't necessarily treat their people right. And that's something that bothers me. And it happens often, more often than not, to be honest. Because for me, I try to treat my people right. I pay them a fair wage, probably a little bit above fair. Like fair would be here, I go a little bit above fair. And I cover all my employees' benefits at 100%, which costs me well over $10,000 a month. I'm just throwing it out there just for the benefits. And I try to do people right. I try to have loyalty. I try to give people put people in a conducive environment to thrive. I really care about them on a personal level. Now, I know once the company get big enough, I can't be personal with everybody, but I do care about people on a personal level. People have come to me as the CEO and have said, hey, I got this issue going on in my life. Well, how can I help you? Because it's bigger than this. I have people that sometimes they go on. They get an opportunity somewhere else. Please, if you find a better opportunity than working for me, I'm supportive of that. Please, go live out your dream. Everybody that work for me knows that I want you to live out your dream because I'm living mine. I don't want you working for me and it ain't your dream to do something in the capacity of working with B. Tatum. I want you to go and live your dream like I'm living my dream. I tell everybody this. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't stand on that. But anyway, that's not really super duper juicy, and I'm not really hard on Jeremy Bourne like that. You go watch Mark Dice. Mark Dice says a lot more stuff against Jeremy Bourne. I just think that Daily Wire could do better, and I think him stepping down shows to a level of either complete arrogance or because he's completely not doing his job right. One of the two. All right, let's go to the deportation order that Donald Trump allegedly violated. So Donald Trump's mission in this deportation situation is that he's deemed, and we may have a clip. Sean Miller explains it pretty good, but he's deemed these Valenzuela. I trained a guy on the police department named Valenzuela. Venezuelan gangs as terrorists, and they're a threat to national security. And we are at war against people invading our country. This is the perception from Donald Trump. And so he then deport these people, but a judge is arguing or needing more clarification, or he's saying that Donald Trump is violating the deportation order. So let's put Sean Miller on because I think he can articulate this better working for the White House. Roll the clip. Not Sean Miller. What's his name? Stephen Miller. I say Sean Miller. Stephen Miller. Roll the clip.
So you called the judge's order just earlier today, quote, patently unlawful, end quote, and said that it was an assault on democracy itself. Does that mean that the administration is ignoring this order, and might you ignore future court orders that meet the criteria you laid out?
The President of the United States and his administration reserve all rights under the Constitution to conduct national security operations in defense of the United States. The Alien Enemies Act, which was passed into law by the founding generation of this country, men like John Adams, was written explicitly to give the President the authority to repel an alien invasion of the United States. That is not something that a district court judge has any authority whatsoever to interfere with, to enjoin, to restrict, or to restrain any way. You can read the law yourself. There's not one clause in that law that makes it subject to judicial review, let alone district court review.
When you say that this person has no authority at all, this is how our system works. It starts with these judges and then continues up. At what point does it become, in your view, legal for the justice system to be looking at this and making a judgment? And I fail to see how there's any other way but to start with where we're starting here before you get to eventually the Supreme Court.
Well, so first of all, there's a term in law, justiciable. This is not justiciable. In other words, this is not subject to judicial remedy. When the president is exercising his Article 2 powers to defend the country against an invasion or to repel a foreign terrorist that is unlawfully in the country, he's exercising his core Article 2 powers as commander-in-chief.
Is Venezuela invading the U.S.?
This is a very important point. This is a Title 50 authority. It's a commander-in-chief authority. So just to ask you a simple question, you talk about how the system works. Does a district court judge have the right to direct or enjoin troop movements overseas? Yes or no?
Well, Stephen, my question.
Well, no,
if you could answer my question first.
In other words,
is Venezuela invading our country in a way that would apply this way?
So I'll answer yours, and you'll answer mine. Under the terms of the statute, Tren de Aragua is an alien enemy force that has come here as detailed at length in the proclamation at the direction of the Venezuelan government. The statute says that a president has the ability to repel an invasion or predatory incursion that is directed by a foreign
state
government.
or a government, right? Are they a state or a government?
This would be, yes, it is documented that TDA was sent by the Venezuelan government in the proclamation. And here's an even more important point. Under the Constitution, who makes that determination? A district court judge elected by no one, or the commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy? The president and the president alone makes a decision of what triggers that determination.
So do you then think we are actually at war with Venezuela, the nation-state of Venezuela?
You're not hearing me, and you're not understanding me. Read the statute, Alien Enemies Act, 1798. It says if a predatory incursion is perpetrated by a foreign government, so it lists three qualifying actions. It could be an act of war.
It does say in the very beginning there has to be a declared war against a nation or a state. That's what it says.
No, wrong. Look up the statute. It's on my account on social media.
That's actually where we
Everyone
found
can go
it.
Yes, it says or a predatory incursion or an invasion. The statute delineates three criteria for triggering the Alien Enemies Act. One is an act of war, which, by the way, an invasion is an act of war, but put that aside. One is an invasion, which this is. One is a predatory incursion, which this is. So it actually meets all three statutory criteria. But with respect to this particular statute, the proclamation is utilizing the incursion and invasion language in the statute.
But
this is a very important question. Because no.
Hold on. I can't handle this beatdown. She getting her head whooped. Go back just a little bit, because I want to show people on the screen what he was saying, because CNN, stop right here, perfect. CNN challenged this man about this, which they found on his social media, and they completely misread what they claim they found on his social media. You can't see this, but I can see it. It does say very clearly what he said, right? It says that whenever there shall be a declared war between the United States and a foreign nation or government, or any invasion or predatory incursion. It's an or, and an or. And he said it very clearly. They put it up on the screen. What are they arguing with this man about? And I don't know why they picked him to argue with, because they clearly don't know that this guy's probably the smartest man in America. Roll the clip.
Put that aside. One is an invasion, which this is. One is a predatory incursion, which this is. So it actually meets all three statutory criteria. But with respect to this particular statute, the proclamation is utilizing the incursion and invasion language in the statute. But this is a very important question, because no, hold on. You said the way our system works is the President of the United States commands the armed forces of the country, commands the foreign policy of the country, and that's subject to district court review. That is fundamentally untrue.
I never said that, Stephen. I did not say
that has never been true.
This was not a military operation.
A district court judge can no more enjoin the expulsion of foreign terrorists to foreign soil that he can direct the movement of Air Force One, that he can direct the movement of an aircraft carrier, that he can direct Marco Rubio to engage
do you
in
think the
diplomacy
Supreme
in a
Court
country
has any
or
say
not
over
to.
this or not? Like, does the Supreme Court of the United States have any say over the things that you were just outlining right here?
I believe what the Supreme Court will say is what I just said, which is that the president's conduct here is not subject to judicial
Okay, but
review.
you are
because
acknowledging that they do, in fact, have a say here, even though you think they may agree with you.
What we are expecting is the Supreme Court to say what has always been the case, which is when the president is using his powers as commander-in-chief, those determinations are not subject to judicial review. The president's designation of Tren Darwagwa as a foreign terrorist organization and as an alien enemy are part of his inherent plenary authority. There is no way.
At what point in the
there is
system,
no way.
Stephen,
How are you going to expel? Hold on. How are you going to expel illegal alien invaders from our country who are raping little girls, who are murdering little girls, if each and every deportation has to be adjudicated in a district court judge? That means you have no country. It means you have no sovereignty. It means you have no future.
I thought Candace Owens was the last person I'd want to debate. I think Stephen is the last person I want to debate. He just wiped the floor with that CNN host. He just wiped the floor. And the reason why they're wiping the floor with these people is because they're so arrogant and pompous enough to argue with a man for no reason. They should be bringing him on to explain what Donald Trump is doing, not to try to detract from what Donald Trump is doing or try to get a gotcha moment of what Donald Trump is doing. And I ain't never seen nobody get whooped like that on TV. Maybe just hold the phone, because I think Scott Jennings got to, he hold my beer, okay? Hold my Irish whiskey. That was yesterday. All right, let's talk about other outrage that has gone on in the media, because I think Scott Jennings had a thought on this that I think was really, really good. I think Judge Jeanine Pirro, that was really good what she had to say. And I think Tim Burchett, I think it's how you say that? Tim Burchett also had something to do, or had something to say that I think is invaluable for us to hear. Roll the clip.
Well, I think a few things. Number one, we've had a number of instances now on immigration and other matters where individuals trying to effectively substitute their judgment for that of what the White House believes is a core function of the presidency as designated by the Constitution. That's a key question and probably needs to be sorted out by the Supreme Court someday. That's number one. Number two, on the issue of these deportations, it's quite clear the president believes he is keeping the United States and its citizens safe from non-citizens who are in the country illegally, first of all, and second of all, who have a long history of committing very, very violent acts, from murder to rape to sex trafficking and so on.
Don't you think they have to prove that, though? Because, I mean, I think I don't think anybody disagrees about their ability to deport people who are murderers or rapists or whatever, but don't they have to actually prove that those people are who they say they are and that they've carried out those acts of those criminal acts?
Well, we know they're violent people because...
How do we know?
Because their records have already been pulled. I mean, these people were violent.
I think that the court,
from where they came from, and now they're here illegally. So
one of the things that happened in court today,
are?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Have
One
they
of the
even
things
given
that
us their
happened
identity?
in the court today is that the lawyers for the government couldn't say really who these people were.
And interesting enough, what they tried to use is they said, "Oh, we're looking at some of their tattoos, which means they have a gang affiliation, so they can be deported." It's a slippery slope that we don't want to open up.
But they're illegal
immigrants,
immigrants,
that's why we have a process for everything.
But they're illegal immigrants, yes?
So actually, again,
we don't know.
The state of affairs.
Hold on a second.
It would be fine.
We do know they're illegal aliens. That's a very easy background check that you can do on the spot. You run their name through the system. They don't have a social security number. They're not a citizen of this country. It's easy. You can do a citizenship check. We used to do it all the time with SB 1070. We do a citizenship check. All we have to do is run their name and all the information, because these idiots don't have not all of them are idiots, but I'm saying the ones who are criminals, I call them idiots. They don't have a social security number. So when you talk to them, they don't speak English. That's one sign that you can't speak no English at all. Then you get an interpreter to talk to them. They have no social security number. They don't even know their date of birth. They have none of this information. So what do? We take the information that we have available to us, whether they give us a name, and then we run that through a system with a couple identifying markers. And if that person doesn't show up with any record, they're not a citizen. It's clear. Not only just the stuff that we can see and that they can't produce on the spot, but because they have no record in the country, they're not a citizen. And then if they got a tattoo of a syndicated gang, this Venezuelan gang, then, ma'am, 2 + 2 is 4. They got the thing. They have no record here. Get the out of our country. The end. We don't need to litigate. We don't need to see, is that real ink? Did he get that in Venezuela or did he get it in America? Did he really mean it or he's just trying to show solidarity with? No, man, get your out of here. It's why do we even question this stuff? It's very clear to me. You either have citizenship or you don't. If you don't, there's no record of you. You got gang tattoos. You gone. The end. Roll the clip.
It's all, the quote is it's all fun until the rapper has the gun, right? What if somebody turns that on one of us or anybody
we're citizens.
else?
They're not citizens.
But there's people who are here.
I go back. I want to see Scott Jennings' face. Scott Jennings, I don't know this is what I was thinking about earlier, y'all. I was like, the Lord, this is Scott Jennings' time. I never heard of Scott Jennings before. And watching his influence and impact on CNN is something to see. I mean, this guy literally is the best person that they could have ever picked to get on CNN and to give an opposing view. He's smart. He's quick. He has his facts. It is insane how he's just dismantling them. I would say this. If he was black, it'd be even worse for CNN because they can write him off as, he's a Trump supporting racist white guy. He's out of touch. He can't talk about black issues. See, because the way they do this is that black people can talk about white issues, but white people can't talk about black issues. So Scott Jennings can't, they dismiss him when it comes to black stuff that go on. But then the black guy they got on here, the milk dud, lollipop head, they got him on here. Don't he look like, remember that movie with the Martians or something like that? The little aliens that came down? That's what he looked like. Like an alien with that big old head. Anyway, that's no here nor there. But they have a black guy like that talk about white issues. So that's what I'm saying. If he was black, it'd be worse for them. But I think that he is doing such an incredible job. And I feel like God has called him to be in this position or set him up for this position to change America forever. I'm telling you, like people that's watching CNN, they may hate him, but they cannot deny that the stuff he's saying is just like common sense. Common sense. Are they illegal or not? And they can't answer a simple question. I think people are on to it. Let's go to Judge Jeanine Pirro and see what she has to say. Roll it.
Got to be careful. I mean, if you watch The View, they could pick any one of us and send us out. Look, they are so not aware of what's going on. Tren de Aragua has been declared a foreign terrorist organization. As a result of that, there is an argument under the 1798 statute that has been the Alien Enemies Act that has been used 3 times, that they are a group that is actually involved with the Venezuelan government and the El Salvadoran government, and therefore they can be deported. Now, aside from the Alien Enemies Act, they are illegal. They are committing crimes, okay? We do not have to have them convicted of a crime to remove them. But the argument that the administration is making, which I think is brilliant, is this. They are saying that under Article 2 of the Constitution, the president has the authority to engage in foreign policy. And the president and Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, have been engaging in foreign policy with Berkeley as well as Maduro. And they have worked out an arrangement where Berkeley is taking these TDA members for $6 million, and a local judge, make no mistake, this is a local judge, folks, who is a trial judge. He's not even an appellate judge, thinks he can stop international diplomacy for national security issues that involve the American people because he's a local federal judge. He's stupid. And let me tell you one more thing. Trende Aragua and MS-16. These people are savages. I used to prosecute them as a DA. They are brutal, medieval, barbaristic savages, and they should be removed from this country immediately without any explanation. And if the Democrats want to take the side of these savages, let them. But the truth is Donald Trump is protecting the Democrat big cities and the people who live in them.
Dana, it looks like there was 261 sent out, 100.
Judge Janine. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes. I don't know why anybody would even argue with these people. Donald Trump reserved the right as the president of the United States to deem that these people are a threat. He's the commander in chief. He is the leader of the military. He is responsible for protecting the border. All of these agencies are underneath Donald Trump, especially our military and enforcement agencies. They're under the executive branch. I don't understand how in the world are we somehow questioning Donald Trump saying, and this is where I think Democrats make a mistake to a certain degree. The brain dead, soy milk eating, drinking son of a guns, they, of course, are going to have a problem with anything Trump does. But the average American person that somehow glimpses or gets a glimpse of some of these things, they will see that that's kind of crazy for them to be complaining about Donald Trump getting violent, barbaric criminals out of the country. Like, why are we trying to blocking them does what? We want them to stay in the country and we want to take them through a court proceeding. Why? They're illegal. We want to spend taxpayer dollar, put other trials on delay to fool around with people that shouldn't even be here in the first place. Is that the way we want to spend our money? Is that the hill y'all want to die on? Let's go to the next clip of, I don't know if it's Burkett or Burchett. I think it's Burkett, but y'all know I can't read half the time. So I don't know what it is. Somebody give me the phonetics of it in the comment section. Roll the clip.
But so no matter what a judge
and he's
says,
taking the side, and he's taking the side of a bunch of criminals.
He hasn't taken any. He hasn't taken any side yet, Congressman. He hasn't taken any side yet. All he's done is put a stay on the White House action here, so that he can review their use of their novel use, frankly, of the Alien Enemies
Oh, come
Act.
on, these guys. Listen. These guys, the difference between God and these judges is God knows he's not one of these judges. They're arrogant. They practice this type of thing all the time. And if you had a conservative one doing it, you all would be raising total hell. But because it's a left-winger
Congressman,
and it's standing and you all take that side,
this isn't a question about the media. This isn't a question about the media. No one's taking a side here. Congressman,
yes,
no one's taking a side here.
He is not.
I'm asking you about the Constitution. Is asking about the Constitution. Is asking about the Constitution taking a side. All I'm asking you is about the Constitution, what you think of it, and what you would advise this White House and your feeling about judicial rulings. And that seems to be upsetting you. I'm just trying to get your position on this and what you would advise the White House going forward.
It's not upsetting. I guess what upsets me is that you all at CNN continuously take the side of the far left, and that's why your ratings continue to plummet. And I do not ever understand why y'all do that every time. I know you got to take the opposite side on everything, but you all are wrong on this one. Listen, this is a gang that took over an apartment complex in Colorado. They
There's not been a
people.
side taken.
They are criminals.
We're trying to understand. Now, you can argue.
They are not
You
American
can argue.
citizens.
You can, Congressman.
What is wrong with you all?
Congressman?
You are so out of touch with what 85% of this country
Congressman?
does not support what you are spewing out right now.
We
And
haven't
this judge
spewed.
is
The only one
complete
spewing
overreach.
is the
He's
guy
an
who's
activist.
talking uninterrupted
How long
right
does
now.
it take him to review this stuff? How long does it take him to review this stuff? These judges, he'll sit on his ass for months so these criminals can stay in this country. This is all this is. This is overreach. And I'll guarantee you, if his kids had been murdered or raped, as has happened in this country to several American citizens by these thugs, that he would be taking a different position. But he's protected. You all protect him. You all have got to come off this. Seriously, I don't know how you all sleep at night when you
think
protect criminals, murderers,
Congressman,
and
can I ask you to stop for 1 second here? I think
I
if you
love
go
this
through
guy.
and
Who is this
analyze
guy?
the questions.
I love this guy. I ain't never heard of that guy. Have y'all heard of that senator before from Tennessee? Oh, he's a congressman. Yeah, he's definitely not a senator because I've never seen him before. I've never even heard him before. Have you heard of him, Nick?
I actually never met.
I never heard of the guy, but I like his style. Call these people on the carpet for what they doing. Why are y'all protecting illegal aliens? What are y'all doing? I saw that Donald Trump had made some executive decision to do something the other day, and I was like, it's so crazy that we even have that as an option in America. What are y'all doing? Can we wake up for a minute, America? Like, what are y'all doing? We're regressing mentally in this country. I felt like we used to be smarter than this. Like, why are we arguing should a man be able to transition and beat the brakes off women in sports? Why is that even an argument? How is that fair? I'm arguing with one of them trannies at the thing. Let me not say tranny. I don't want to be disrespectful because I don't dislike people who do this. I just don't like the ones who crazy. But this transgender person gets up and argues with me about how it is fair and what do you think kids should do? We're only less than 1% of the population. Why do we? That's exactly why you shouldn't let less than 1% of the population have the mass rule over who gets to play in sports. 1% get to dictate what every woman do in sports. 1% wins 90% of the medals that they involved in. Like, what are y'all doing? It's the same thing about the government, man. We got all these illegals in our country, man. Get to send them home, bro. Take some of our money, go into a little bit of debt if you have to get them out of here. I was at the campus. I'm gonna send all this video out. I was at the campus and the dude was like, because once I proved the point that Donald Trump never finding money. When I say Donald Trump, I mean Doge. And people don't know this, that Doge can't fire anybody. They can make recommendations. They can't change the budget of any of these organizations. They can just make recommendations. And many recommendations that they make, you'll be a fool to say, no, I want to keep blowing people's money. Okay. But regardless of that, they're finding all this fraud and all this stuff. And the guy go, I don't care because criminal justice reform is. I say, you must don't pay taxes. I do pay taxes, but I didn't vote. I say, why are you even talking to me? If you didn't vote, get away from the mic. If you're not voting, why are you even talking to me about politics? But regardless, he gets up there and says, I don't care. Well, I do care. I do care what they do with my money. I don't care if they save 3 pennies. Save 3 pennies of the money that you're extracting from people. It makes me upset that they think they can do this with our hard-earned money. I'm telling you, y'all, this stuff that Doge is finding, what the government is doing with our money, it makes me so mad. And I think people should go to prison for life for what they've done to the American people's money. You're just blowing our money that we're never going to get back ever again. We're putting all this money into taxes. People struggling to pay taxes. And then y'all just throw our money away. The taxes that one American has spent their entire life paying, which could be like $40,000 I mean, it could be more than that. I mean, $400,000 a tax. No, that's 100 years. Let's say a person spent about $100,000 in taxes over their lifespan. They fart that away in one DEI experiment on transgender frogs or something. Blow that you could have had $100,000 in your life, but they blew it on transgender frog research. I'm making it up. It ain't no transgender frog research, but they do stuff like that. Your whole life worth of taxes, they blow it in 30 seconds. Half of the people in the country, let me just tell you why it bothers me so much. I'm a business owner, and I look at that bank account, and I look at that money going in, that money going out. And there's sometimes that money going out, and I'm like, where is my money going? Where is my money at? I get a we spending that much on that? What are we doing? That's how I feel about my little money. Now the government is throwing trillions. Where the money at? We don't have no receivables. We don't have any documentation. We don't know where the money at. Well, where did y'all send $40 billion to? Or $40 million? Oh, we didn't mark it as it's unlisted. What? I mean, I think the business owners that are listening to me understand the outrageousness and the audacity of our government. Oh, we haven't passed audit in 6 years. What? What do you mean you haven't passed audit? Who is being held responsible for you not passing audit? Because if your business don't pass an audit, you are, just so you know, if the IRS come after you because your debt numbers are crazy, you owe the IRS money, you can go to jail, garnishing your wages. Oh, Jesus of Nazareth, the Nazarene, help us. Let's go with this Tesla stuff in Las Vegas. So your favorite dimwits that exist for no reason whatsoever. And sometimes I get mad at God. Pause it real quick. Sometimes I get mad at God. God know me, so he already know. I ain't gonna lie to y'all and say I don't get mad. But sometimes I'm like, God, how do we get to this point? Can you please intervene a little bit more? Can you give us a little bit more? These people are nuts. How do they even exist? Can you help us find a strategy to get these people away from us? Because these same nutty, deranged MK Ultra people that cry themselves to sleep at night over electric cars, cry themselves to sleep at night over renewable fuels and all that. Well, not renewable fuels, but they cry themselves to sleep over green, clean energy. They want the paper straws in a plastic cup. Stupid mother. I want to say it, but I'm a good Christian, and the Lord wouldn't want me cussing. They literally stupid enough to want a paper straw in a plastic cup. We're making the country better. Or they put the plastic vinyl over the top of the paper straw. We're changing the world. We just want to make a better place for our kids. Because if we don't do something today, we all gonna die tomorrow. The global warming, climate change. Why did y'all change it from global warming to climate change? Because there's clearly no evidence that the globe is warming. It's completely false. They got to change the thing so they can trick some of these ignorant folks on college campuses. They just burning fuel. And then they get mad and they burn up electric cars. They're burning them up. Why? Oh, because Elon Musk is trying to hold the government accountable. And so y'all burning up Teslas, which Elon Musk have absolutely nothing to do with. He's not making these cars. You're not hurting him. You burning Teslas that are covered through insurance doesn't hurt his stock position whatsoever. He's still worth $400 billion. And y'all keep playing, you're going to make him even richer because you bringing more and more attention to Tesla. Now they covering the story of burning Teslas. And then the rest of the people are like, these people are insane. And then these fires are incredibly dangerous because you can't just put water on this fire. There's no extinguisher. They have to let it burn until it finishes burning, or they have to cover it with a blanket, which many cities don't have the capacity to cover these with blankets. What are y'all doing? Roll the clip. What are y'all doing? That could be so catastrophic. Because as you can see, the firefighters, you will never see the firefighters. Look at the explosion. When those lithium batteries catch fire, you can't put them out. They have to let it burn until they're done. Unless they cover it with a blanket, or sometimes my dad was telling me, because my dad is retired, well, he's about to retire, as the chief and he's been working for 40 years. And the fire department industry, and I say industry, they are lockstep in understanding the danger of these lithium batteries. And in some cities, they lift the car up on a forklift and they put it in a box and they cover it. That's the only way they can put the lithium fire out. And then they got these blankets that they can throw over the top that'll cover the car, smother the flames out. But outside of that, they have no real way of doing it. And these dumb leftists keying people's cars and stuff. There was a clip. Do we have a clip of that black kid that was taking his daughter to school or something like that, and they keyed his car and destroyed his Tesla? Let me see if I sent it to you. But anyway, let's go to another clip of the news clip about this incident. Roll it.
Well, I actually spoke with someone that works right next door, and he was telling us all about how all the businesses on the 6600 block of Bedora is currently being canceled for the day. Now, we're looking at a closure from Bedora and South Jones all the way through RB right now. We haven't gotten word if anyone has been arrested yet. We haven't been able to get all the way close enough to Tesla collision to see exactly a closer look at what happened, but as we do know, at 2:30 a.m. this morning, police, they did receive a call that multiple Tesla cars were set on fire. We've heard about the vandalism that's been happening with the protests all across the nation, and now, Kim, has come right here to Las Vegas.
Sure has. So showrooms, charging stations, the most recent one, someone firing a weapon at a showroom up in Oregon. Thank you for paying attention to what's going on. Let us know before this broadcast ends if there's any sort of update. Thank you, Everett. And not the first time that a Tesla in Las Vegas had been in the same sentence and in the national news. Remember this? This was a former Army veteran who took his own life by exploding a Cybertruck in front of the Trump International Hotel just off the Las Vegas Strip. FBI and local law enforcement are continuing to investigate. This hasn't wrapped, at least not yet, as far as the investigation.
All right. I didn't send it to you, Nick. I'm sorry. I thought I sent it. So this guy, it was a video. I didn't watch it, but it was a video of a black kid that was in a car, and he was just kind of probably explaining that they destroyed his Tesla because they stupid. But I think this should be a bigger crime. I think this is a coordinated effort. And if they find on people's electronic devices that they're coordinating an effort to destroy Tesla using violence and destruction of property in a coordinated effort to push a political agenda or to intimidate people, that's a terrorist act. There should be an aggravated charge on this. I don't know how they should be charged federally, and they should be put in jail for a long time. This is unacceptable. Nobody Biden was running around the White House in a Rubicon. Nobody burning Rubicons because they don't like Joe Biden. It's like, God, can you get rid of these people, please? Can we find a way to get them on a place by themselves? Y'all live over there and we live over here. Can we do that? I'm sick of these leftists. They're so disingenuous and idiotic. Conservatives will say, oh, your politics is bad, whatever. These people are deranged. You literally can look at them and say, hey, man, I don't know, Donald Trump's administration found a cure for cancer. They will, I swear, God is my witness, they'll find a reason why cancer is good for you. Oh, well, technically, all cancer is not bad cancer. But did he really? Well, he didn't follow executive orders to shut the front door. They hate this country, man. The country is racist. What about the middle class? Tax the wealthy. Are y'all this stupid? There's no such thing as taxing the wealthy. To be honest, the wealthy get taxed anyway because they pay majority of the taxes that we have on the books anyway. But the taxation from the wealthy is them creating jobs where 30,000 people work for their company. And they're all paying taxes. That's taxation on the wealthy. I think if you amass a certain amount of money as a self-made person, you amass a certain amount of money, you shouldn't have to pay taxes on your personal income. That's what I think. Why would you pay taxes? If you or if we had a part where you say, if you create this many jobs with this many employees who pay taxes, you are exempt from taxes. Would y'all go with that? I'll go with that. I'll go with it. Some multi-billionaire person that created 40,000 jobs around the country. Yeah, hey, you ain't got to pay taxes. We ain't got to pay taxes. No, let the 40,000 people that you hire pay taxes. Anyway, it just bothers me how they treat people. And then the Democrats are richer than rich, and none of them are paying taxes like they supposed to, but they don't care when the Democrats do it. They just care if a Republican does it. So I hope these people go to jail, then hell, for all this trauma that they're causing this country. When we have such a beautiful nation, we should all be peaceful, high-fiving each other, walking past on the streets. We should all be helping our brother and sister in Christ, helping our brothers and sisters find Christ, helping everybody in the country where they need, where we see a fit of need. We should be just having a good time. It's the greatest time to ever be alive in any dispensation of time on any portion of the earth. Is to be alive in America today. And for people not to just wasting their time murdering people and stealing and robbing and killing. It's shameful. All right, let's go to another situation with the United Airlines passenger. Nick told me that the person who was at the desk of the United Airlines took a L. And that's sad. But we finna see what happens here. I guess the guy was mad because they rescheduled his flight or something. Let me read it. On March 13, 2025, Washington Dulles International Airport, a United Airlines gate agent was assaulted by a passenger, leading to the passenger being arrested and permanently banned from the airlines. The dude was 54 years old. He's an idiot. Following the cancellation of his original flight and reassignment to a middle seat on a subsequent flight, Crittenden became agitated. He attempted to access a restricted area at gate D12 while other passengers were deplaning. Now, I have had some bad experience with the airlines. I had one situation where they delayed my flight. First of all, we waited at the airport from like 4 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night because they kept pushing the flights. Then they canceled the flight, put everybody on a flight the next day at 10. And then in the middle of the night, they say, oh no, sorry, 6 a.m. In the middle of the night. And I called and say, wait a minute, the flight was at 10. You put me on a 10 o'clock flight that was also delayed to 10 o'clock. They go, oh, no, it ended up being on time now at 6 a.m. I said, ma'am, it was 11 o'clock at night. I went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, or I went to bed at midnight. You guys did the flight change at 2 o'clock in the morning. How are people supposed to know when we go to sleep and you had a time and you flip it to 6 a.m.? Half of the people probably didn't even make the flight. You sorry son of a gun. Now, I didn't say this to him. That's what I was feeling on the inside. And I was like, you better take care of me. Y'all screwed me on this one. You better, I'll be flying for free on this next one. That's what I expect from you. So I didn't go crazy on them. I mean, I had them do all kind of stuff on the flight. But I ain't never going to do this. Roll the clip. That's not a girl. Go back. Play it. Let me see. That's a guy. Y'all, somebody said he punched a girl. It ain't as bad then. I mean, it's bad, but it ain't as bad. I thought he knocked a woman out. He punched a guy that had his head down, his hands down. He wasn't ready to play. He still need to go to prison. I think he'd go to prison for a long time hit somebody in the flight crew. Roll the clip. Roll the clip. He didn't even fix his stance. He didn't even put his hips behind it. Go back. I don't want to laugh at that, but that old man sucker punch you like that. What a silly person though. Because that makes no sense in the world. I think he should be banned from every airline. It makes no sense in the world for this man to be trying to enter a plane while people are deplaning. Where are you going? You're going to have to push past people to get on a plane. And when you get on the plane, where you going to go? They're deplaning. And so is the pilot. They're going to get new pilots, potentially. And flight crew and everything else. Where you going? They got to clean the plane. Where you going to sit at? Take them to jail. All right, let's go to the news clip.
A local man banned from flying United after an attack on a gate agent is caught on camera. All this happening over a seat assignment. Fox 5's Bob Varner live at Dulles International Airport tonight with the story and the disturbing video. Bob.
Yeah, hey, Kenneth. Truth be told, I know the gate agent who was assaulted here last night. He's a friend, a dear person, loves working for United Airlines. It's a second career for him. The passenger who attacked him last night, well, he was arrested and placed on United Airlines' no-fly list. Take a look at this. Now, this is the video that's blowing up social media. And
God dang, they gonna play it 15
it's
times?
A short clip. A United Airlines ticketed
All right, that's
passenger
enough.
wearing...
Y'all seen him get popped. So obviously he got arrested. He's banned. I don't think he's ever going to come back to the airlines. I think he's deranged. Probably was drunk. He looked like an alcoholic based on his demeanor and behavior. And to be honest, bro, why are you so silly? You can get on the plane and be like, look, I'm big. Can I get on the edge? Would you mind switching seats with me? I'm really struggling being in the middle. Somebody may just say, oh, okay, that's fine. I don't care if I'm in the middle. I'm a skinny person. I can get in the middle. That's fine. And people will be nice to you if you're not a nut. You get on there and just ask people. They'll switch seats with you. I would. If a person was just really spazzing about being in the middle or something, and I'm like, look, I'm just, I'm hopping over here. Give me about an hour or something. As long as I can put my laptop out. Well, I don't, I ain't gonna lie. I don't fly. I fly first class anyway. But sometimes I've had to fly coach, and I've been in the middle, and it's fine. I mean, I didn't like it, but it's okay. You get through it. I remember me and the wife was on a flight, and I think something happened. I don't know what happened or whatever. We ended up having to fly from Dulles all the way to Phoenix in coach, which is fine because we were family and we were together. But which wouldn't be fine is one time I had to do that and I had to sit in the middle because they messed up on the flight and they didn't have any first class on the second flight they put me on, so they put me in the middle. And I'm sitting, and I'm big. Some of y'all probably think I'm little on this TV screen, but I'm big. And I'm in the middle like this. Like, I got to fly 5 hours like this. And I can't even sit up. I'm like, if I do this, I'm on a lap. Like, my elbows on their laps. But I will say there was a sweet, sweet older lady that was next to me, and she's really little, so I could kind of lean a little bit over her side. She was so sweet. She talked to me for probably 3 hours of the flight, and it ended up being okay. I'm going to say this real quick, and I think this is invaluable to say for some people that are watching. This is meant for you to hear if you're watching. Nothing is ever as bad as you think it is. So don't waste your time getting too worked up on things you cannot control. I literally have had so many instances where I ran late to something and I was like, oh, I hate myself right now that I'm late. I've missed flights. I've been late to flights. I've been late to the airport. I've done things in my life. And then I just airport and travel. I mean, every aspect of my life. I was late to a meeting and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. It always works out. And it's going to be okay. And everything happens for a reason. So sometimes you think that you just so negligent that you woke up too late. But yeah, you did. But I think maybe there's a reason that this time you didn't set your alarm clock right. That this time you got to fly in the middle seat. Because there have been times where things have transpired. And after the fact, I look back and I say, you know what? That ended up being a net positive when I thought it was horrifically going out of control. So just keep that in mind. It's never as bad as you think it is. All right, RFK files or JFK files. Do we have anything? No, I'm pretty sure we don't. I was going to say something about the JFK files. We don't have any. There's nothing there. Did they release it? They released the files? Huh? Nothing. They haven't released it. So I'm not going to waste my time talking about this, but allegedly Trump had ordered the release of 80,000 JFK Files, and let's say, hold on, is it all redacted? Let me see it on here. Announced the release of approximately 80,000 classified documents related to, I don't know if it was actually released though. Scope of release, the declassification includes around 80,000 pages of documents related to the RFK assassination with no redactions. But I don't think they released it. So it haven't been released yet. I don't think it's going to be nothing there. I'm just saying. And if it is, we'll cover it and we'll let you guys know. I don't think it's nothing there. That thing been, and whatever was there probably gone by this point. Let's see. I think that's it, man. I think we done covered a lot of stories. We'll talk about Dylan Mulvaney and maybe this Chuck Schumer backlash tomorrow. I think we got plenty of the stories that we've covered. Let's get to the super chats real quick, and then we're going to get up out of here. All right? First and foremost, I want to remind you guys, if you want to go to the event with me and Pastor Alan Jackson in Paradise Valley on April the 1st, we got the link in the description section. You will see all the cool amenities. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be great weather. I cannot wait to see you guys there, okay? Also, Synergy, the day and night drink is coming soon. I think we should get them probably next week or so. And I'm so excited about Synergy because it's been 3 years with a bunch of drama and hundreds of thousands of dollars that I've spent on trying to build this company with integrity, natural supplements that people can feel confident in taking, knowing that it has efficacy and it's natural. And it's not a bunch of garbage and it's not placebo and you're taking some stuff that you come back and look and do research. It really don't have what it says it has. I hate that stuff. I think it's crazy that people spend their money and they don't get what they expect. So I created a product line where you get what you expect. And I know that you get what you expect because we have an actual formulator who formulates this stuff at a company that packages and do distribution right in Fort Worth, Texas. So we know that you're getting the product because I pay to source the product. So I know that they sourcing it because I pay for them to source it. And we get it and they package it, put it together and deliver it. We spend countless hours. Shout out to Bill for helping with the design, the font, and all that other stuff that you got to do to put this together. Just so you guys know, like, it takes a lot to do this. You could private label something. If you got a big brand like mine, you could private label easy. Probably take you, I don't know, a week to do. When you going from scratch, you coming up with a business name. You got to get a business incorporated. You have shares. I literally can make a course on how to start a company like this. And it'll save you so many years that I didn't get saved because I had to go through it and learn on my own. Iterations with, I don't know how many formulators we work with, 3 or 4 formulators before we found one that wasn't not only excellent, but is a Christian. I'm going to bring him on so y'all can meet him. But it all worked out because I don't want to say co-packer, but the company that gets the ingredients, mixes it, puts it in the packs, do the stick packs and the bags and all that stuff. They package it all together. They ship it out. That company is run by faith-based people that believe in Jesus, that are excellent people. So I couldn't work with a better organization than them. One day I'll ask their permission to let y'all know what company it is, but I don't want to put it out there and they don't want it to be disclosed. But faith-based, Christian, good people. My formulator, Christian, good man. It ended up working out. And I'm glad that I went through all this to get to this point. So therefore, when you guys buy the product, just know it came from a place where we put in a lot of effort to get it here. This is not I'm just going to go start a business and I'm going to private label it all and tell you that I did all this. No, man, we had to go through so many iterations to get this drink the way we wanted to, all the tastings, trying to negotiate whether we wanted caffeine in it or not, how much caffeine to put in it, in our energy drink, and then the day drink, those iterations to get the taste right. I mean, it was a lot, bro. It was a lot. Like, there's times in my life that I say, why do I put myself through these things? And then there's also at the same time that you're not going to get nothing out of you're not going to get something out of nothing. if there's no test, there ain't no testimony. And I feel like the harder it is, the more you got to fight, the bigger your reward is going to be. And so Synergy, I believe one day will be one of the top premier brands. And you guys going to be a part of that. So anyway, that's my spew. I wanted to share that with y'all. Let's get to these super chats. All right. Tin Man. My favorite show on YouTube. I appreciate it, man. We're going to do better, though. I think this show is like operating at 20% of the capacity that I think we can offer. So just hang on in there. I think we can make it happen. Authentically Kennedy, more like the Daily Fire. they taking a poo-poo, I think. JP Morgan paid $290 million to Epstein's victims. Yeah, I saw that. I wonder what that's all about. I wonder why JP Morgan paid $290 million to Epstein's victims. Is it because that he used the financial institution to do certain stuff, and then they, like almost like a lawsuit, a settlement? I wonder why. That's kind of crazy for a private company to support a person's personal issues. I admire that you are a strong Christian man with traditional values, a good example to look up to. I appreciate that. I try to do my best, man. I ain't perfect, boy. The Lord is still working on me. I don't have much money, but here's a coffee. Here's a coffee, dude. I appreciate it, man. $2. See, listen, let me tell you this. $2, I don't need to go get a coffee. I can brew it right here. So with that $2, I can go buy the pack that I can get right here and brew it myself instead of them inflated prices at the coffee shop. Appreciate it, my man. Let's see. Labs, thanks so much for a gift as a Tatum Squad member. Milk Dud is reserved for Joy Reid. You're right. I messed around and called somebody else the Milk Dud. Mars Attacks leader is for the lollipop head. That dude looked like he came from Mars with that crazy head. Let's see. Bro, your rants be having me crying laughing. I appreciate it. All right. Thank y'all for the super chats. I love y'all. Make sure you look in the comment section or the description section where you can see the events that's coming up. You can see the deals that are coming up on the stores, and also you can see what we have going with Synergy. And I forget to mention, but I'll make another ad to let you guys know about the Talladega experience. I want you guys to help me make that into a reality for Caleb. He's an incredible man, an incredible NASCAR driver. I love him. He's a great family guy, and I couldn't want to help a person more than a man like him. So we're going to help Caleb. I want you guys to be a part of it. I'll put the link in the description section so you see the little lineup, but it involves you helping me get to the goal of raising $55,000 for the NASCAR driver, Caleb. Very simple. There's elements to supporting us that will get you certain things, right? If you give $50, you'll get a T-shirt. $200, I'll put your name on a NASCAR, and you'll get a T-shirt. And then up, so on and so forth. For $5,000, people who can give $5,000 to the cause or more, you're going to have a Talladega experience with me. We'll go to dinner the night before. You'll be in the pit with me and the race car driver watching the entire Talladega race from the pit. And then we'll also have an opportunity to go and watch the Cup race the next day. And it's going to be a blast. Talladega was incredible when I went last time. And some of you guys that want to have the experience or you want to be a part of this, we'll link it in the comment section here soon, and you can be a participant, all right? Love you guys. See you on the next one. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of